Here's Drake Toll and Armstrong Sims.
Welcome back into the Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den. Happy Wednesday, everybody. May 12th, and a lot going on this week across Baylor athletics. Got baseball this weekend. Got softball this weekend. Men's tennis is in Orlando. The track team in the Big 12 championships in Manhattan, Kansas, and other big news, major news that broke yesterday. Coach Jeremy Heffner, who is the director of athletics performance for Baylor women's basketball, is staying home, staying in Waco with Coach Nikki Collin. He's retained on the staff here at Baylor, and he joins our show today. Coach Heffner, thanks so much for coming on with us.
Drake, thanks for having me. Nobody's more excited to be here than I am.
I love it. You know, Coach Heffner, like we were just saying off the air, Jerry Hill told us on the show today that when he texted you about staying in Waco, that you responded in all caps, that you're just as excited as could be to be at Baylor University moving forward. Talk us through that for you.
Well, the last couple of weeks have been, we've kind of just been holding our breath, my wife and my daughter and I, and we love Waco. We love this community. We love Baylor University. We love the program. We love the student athletes that I get to work with. They're like big sisters to my daughter. And just the opportunity to stay and to be a part of something that's going to be great here in the future. It's what every coach dreams of. So I'm kind of walking on air right now.
Coach, along with that, obviously the amount of turnover, you just don't know. The volatility in a coaching change, you talked about it, just kind of holding your breath there for a while. Your first conversation with Coach Collin and kind of the process of staying at Baylor, take us through what some of that looked like.
Well, our first conversation was very brief. It was shortly after the team meeting we had. I believe it was last Tuesday, but to be honest, my days are all mixed up, so I don't know what day it is right now. We had a brief conversation. I got to listen to her speak to the team. Obviously, I saw her press conference. So I felt really good about, if given an opportunity, I felt really good about staying. Then we had the opportunity to go to breakfast last Saturday morning. And when I left that conversation, I felt good. I felt good, not necessarily about myself, but about the direction of the program, about the person that was going to be leading our student athletes into the future, that was going to be representing Baylor. So although I didn't know where I stood, I knew where the program stood, and I knew it was going to be in good hands. So I felt really good walking out of that breakfast.
Coach, not just that side of things when it comes to university and the staff side, but the family side. I mean, when you're looking at your daughter, your wife, and deciding, hey, where do we go from here? What did those conversations look like, and was there no question you wanted to stay in Waco from the jump?
Yeah, there really wasn't. We were going to stay in Waco. We were going to figure out a way to make it work. This is our home. This is our community. Everything from, like I said, Baylor University to the farmers market. Like we're all in on Waco, to Harvest on 25th, to Olive Branch, like our local spots that we go to Pinewood. Roasters. We're all in on Waco. We love the community. We love the people. We love what it represents. So we intended to stay. We weren't sure how we were going to do that. We were kind of praying for the best. No, I won't say hoping. We were praying for the best. And so my wife is a high school counselor at Lorena High School. My daughter goes to Waco Montessori here in downtown Waco. So we were all in on staying in Waco. My family's actually 45 minutes from here in a little town off some dirt roads called Woodbury, Texas. So even the grandparents are here. So we were committed to Waco.
Waco through and through. Coach, you talk about committed to Waco and being committed to those players that have become big sisters for your daughter. I saw a bunch, just a myriad of social media posts when it was announced that you would stay on staff at Baylor from current players just expressing how excited that made them. What are some of those messages that you've gotten from either current or former players since you decided that Waco was going to remain home for you?
Well, you have some athletes that you're really close with, especially in the business that I'm in. They love what I do. They love the weight room. They love training. They love getting better. You got some of those dogs that are just all in, and they express some gratitude, some excitement that we're going to get to stick together. Some former players that reached out. Brittany Griner hit me up almost immediately, and we've been friends. My wife and her are friends. She was on the academic side when Brittany was here for a long time, and she just talked about the excitement of getting to stay, and she's excited to, possibly come back around campus. And yeah, I'm not going to lie, it makes you feel good. That's all I'll say about that. It's nice to know that the people that you pour into care about you and are excited to have you back. So,
Coach, along with it, one of the things that Jerry Hill brought up and that we brought up is Coach Collin got on the podium for an introductory press conference, and one of the first things she did was thank Coach Mulkey for what she built at Baylor University. Your message and your experience with Coach Mulkey and just your well wishes for her moving forward, what do those look like?
Well, I mean, gratitude, that's kind of my deal. Attitude of gratitude. Well, I wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation with you had it not been for Coach Mulkey. One, bringing me to Baylor University, bring me back home to Texas, bring me back a second time because I left during my 11-year tenure and she brought me back again. Experiencing the success, watching a Hall of Fame coach for 11 years. If you can't get better doing that, you're not paying attention. So first and foremost, it's gratitude. And then I just wish her the best of luck. I mean, there are no hard feelings. Kim is a friend of mine. She's a mentor, and she's a friend of my family's, my daughter's and my wife's. And she's going to go do what Kim does at LSU, and I wish her nothing but the best of luck.
Coach Heffner, now moving into the Nikki Collin era of Baylor women's basketball, you talked about that, some of the first conversations that you've had with her and really knowing the program would be in good hands. What is it about Nikki Collin that shows you, hey, Baylor women's basketball is not going to stop. This program's on a trajectory that's only going forward?
I mean, well, she's coming from where everybody wants to be. She knows she has the golden ticket to get to the WNBA. She's talking about running a pro style offense, getting up and down the court. I mean, that excites, we're talking about highlight reel stuff, which we're familiar with here at Baylor women's basketball. But, from a X's and O's perspective, I think our athletes are just going to be all in on it. They're going to be excited about it. The fans are going to get excited about it. But the big thing is her emphasis are these student athletes. And that's exciting because I'm in the business of serving. And we're here to advocate for the student athletes. And when you've got your head coach and your staff, and your support staff all moving in the direction of advocating for student athletes and giving them the best experience that they can have here, man, you get fired up. And it's easy for me to get fired up. So that's not that big of a deal. But when you got everybody on the same page and you got the leader taking you in the direction that you want to go, like it's exciting.
Coach, along with it, I've seen a lot of opening press conferences over the years with coaches, and you can always tell the ones that are up there, and it's like, all right, we got a car salesman. I mean, it's the spunk and the pizzazz that's just over the top. Nikki Collin got on the podium and told it like it was. She was straightforward. And I know you've had some private conversations with her and been able to speak with her. I mean, is she just as genuine in conversation as she was at that podium last Wednesday?
So the answer in short is yes. I mean, she's just real. I went to breakfast with her. That was our first official meeting. We ate breakfast at Cafe Cappuccino, and 2 hours and 15 minutes later, we're looking at our phones like, oh my goodness, we got to go. We had conversations. We talked about basketball. We talked about the program. We talked about Waco. We talked about our children, our spouses. I mean, like, it was just real. That's the best word I can use. It's not a great adjective, but it was just real. It was exciting. I mean, it was fun. It was enjoyable. But yeah, man, I think from what I've seen, what you see is what you get. What you hear is what you get. And, that's exciting because you always know where you stand.
Coach, for you as well, the relationship you built with these players. We've heard from Nalissa Smith and Queen Egbo and Caitlin Bickle. I mean, those are athletes that obviously you want to still coach that have committed themselves to Baylor even still. How big is it that those players are remaining in place to be a part of this program with not just yourself, but Coach Collin and be a Lady Bear moving forward?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, the student athletes are the foundation of the program. And when you have an All-American potential first round draft, number one, first round draft pick coming back, when you have a future All-American in Queen, I mean, like this, it's exciting because we've got a new staff coming in, we've got a new coach, a new direction, but we have the same talent. I mean, like, I don't think the expectations are going to drop for even a split second. I mean, we're ready to rock and roll and we're ready to compete, and we want to win a Big 12 championship. So it's exciting, man. And you just, it's a business that we're in. but it's great when things work out and you get to keep a lot of people intact, and you get to keep the family portion of, of the business intact.
Coach, you talk about keeping things intact, keeping the roster intact, the players, and continuity moving forward. And it's keeping that national championship mentality intact. Is that going to be a goal for yourself and this staff, these players moving forward into next year, to keep those national championship aspirations near the forefront of your goals?
I will have to defer to Coach Colin on that. It's her program, and she will set the tone and set the goals. But in our conversation, because we haven't established goals, she hasn't told me what our goals are. So I have to defer to her. But absolutely, I don't think there's any question with the talent we have. That's going to be our expectation.
I love it. Coach, along with that, we've heard so much about how your role, being as the director of athletics performance, or comparable to strength and conditioning coordinator with the team, that really there are few coaches that get a closer relationship or spend more time with the team. Is that a fair assessment in what you do?
Absolutely. Myself and our athletic trainer, Alex Olson, who's phenomenal. We spend, we're with the girls 10 and a half months a year every day. So there's no question. They get tired of us generally in the season before they get tired of the coaches, but then we're with them so much, they get untired of us before the end of the season, So it's a wonderful relationship. And I'm just, my profession is, it's a dream. I wear shorts and a t-shirt to work. I work with the elite of elite athletes, and I get to be there to support them. So often I get to be the good guy more so than the bad guy.
Coach, for those that may not be familiar with you or what you've done here at Baylor, what is your philosophy when it comes to building relationships with players and making athletes into the best they can be physically as well?
Well, my philosophy is love my athletes, be present, and lead by example. Those are just that's just kind of my filter for everything that I do. When I have an opportunity for an athlete to be in the athlete's presence, I maximize it. I listen, I learn. And then from a training standpoint, I'm around tremendous coaches, and these are tremendous athletes. So my goal is to make them resilient and durable. When they walk on the court, I want smiles on their faces and fresh legs. And so I don't do anything to take away from that, because ultimately their performance on the court dictates our success. And I don't have a magic wand. So everything we do, we're consistent, and we build consistency into the program, and that allows us to be intense when necessary. So yeah, man, we try to keep it really simple. We try to do only enough to make them better and no more. Keep the ego out of it, because there's no value in that in this profession. And just make sure that they're healthy, happy, resilient, and durable, so that coaches can coach them. That's what they do best.
Coach, a lot of folks out there, fans, media, everybody the like, when they hear director of athletics performance or strength and conditioning, they think about like the jacked up, juiced up guy that's running out there and getting everybody fired up. When you think about the energy and bringing energy to a program, what's your philosophy there? Are you the hype guy? I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Am I the hype guy? It depends. It depends. I'm the thermostat. So when an athlete needs a hug, I give them a hug. When an athlete needs a foot in their rear end, I give them a foot in their rear end. That first thing in my philosophy is love my athletes. Well, love is not all mushy. Sometimes it's discipline. I get fired up. Yes, I get excited. If I didn't get excited, I wouldn't be doing this for a living. So the first 20, 30 minutes of practice, you probably want me to shut up. I usually calm down when the coaches start talking so everybody can hear them. But up to that point, I can be fairly annoying. Yes.
Coach, on top of that, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you, your own personal accolades that have come in these last couple of weeks, the awards that you've been given. So walk me through it. It's a master. Can you help me through this?
So I'm a member of a collegiate strength conditioning organization, and it's got one of the highest entry levels for certification. So you have to do 500 or 600 hours of an internship with a master strength coach. You have to take a 3-pronged certification test. You have your academic side, you have your practical side. And so it's a really stringent test. And then once you've done that and you've been certified, you have to maintain a job for a long period of time in order to be considered a master strength coach. And in this industry that's so volatile, it's kind of hard to do. Coaches lose their jobs all the time. So it's an honor to be presented the master jacket by your peers, the guys that indoctrinated me into this profession. They were there. You're talking about Jeff Mad Dog Madden, who's been a strength coach for 40 years, who was originally at the University of Texas. My Charlie Melton, who I worked with, received his jacket 4 or 5 years ago, and he's the one who actually presented the jacket to me. So you're just getting recognized by your peers for being consistent, being a quality coach, and representing an organization that we believe in.
Coach, on top of that, what did that honor mean to you, and how do you bring that to your program every day?
Well, I mean, it just, like I said, I mean, these are guys that I stood in front of and tested in front of 18 years ago. I took the test and they critiqued me and they coached me and they ragged on me, and you just kind of, iron sharpens iron. They're the people that made me the coach that I am today and gave me the opportunity, frankly, to even be a coach. So it's just an honor, but how do I bring it to me every day? It's a part of who I am. I'm a master strength coach, whether I'm on the floor or whether I'm sitting in your living room talking to you. You can't separate the two. When you're in this profession, any coaching profession, it becomes who you are. It's a part of you. So I carry it everywhere I go.
Coach, one of the last couple of questions I have for you here, and I do want to thank you for what you've brought to the show today, your perspective from a faith aspect, being at Baylor University and as a coach. How does that play into how you work, how you do your job every day and what you bring to this program? I'm here by grace and grace alone. It was given to me freely. And it's my expectation that I give that to everyone that I meet. So when I come to work every day, you get my respect automatically. You don't have to earn it. You get my love automatically. You don't have to earn it because it was given to me first. So I think being in this setting just allows me to foster that, and that in turn allows me to grow as a person. I believe that's my answer. Coach, working our way all the way back to where we started with Coach Nikki Collin, your ability to stay in Waco, be a part of this staff, you two working together with the staff she builds and these players as well. Can you sum everything up, the emotions of even the last 48 hours in the announcement that you would still remain at Baylor University and all that's gone into this? Can you wrap it all up with a bow?
Let's go. Sick 'em Bears. I am fired up, dude. I can't wait to work for Coach. I can't wait to get started. I can't wait to get the girls back. Let's do this thing.
I love it. That's it. That's probably the best. That's the best bow that we've gotten on Up Tempo in a while. Coach, we got our Bear Games question of the day for you today. So we ask this on the tail end of every interview that we do, whether it be with phone calls, whether it be with callers or guests alike. Baylor baseball put up 17 runs on Sunday. So Monday's Bear Games question was, what is the worst loss, the worst defeat you've been on the other side of? The Tuesday's question, the biggest win, where you've been on the right side of that blowout. Today's, your best individual performance ever as an athlete. Tell me, maybe, I don't know, it could have been youth football. Just, you got to hit me with something here.
Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. So but if you know me, I'm self-deprecating. So I was playing in Arlington, Texas, in a baseball game in center field. And I caught a ball on the fly, and there was a play at the plate, and I airmailed the ball into the stands behind us and hit Ben Greaves' mom in the leg.
No. How did you airmail it behind you?
Ben Greaves played in Major League Baseball. His dad was Tom Greaves, general manager for the Texas Rangers. So let's just say everybody knew who she was. Yeah, man, I don't know. I crow hopped and I let her fly and thought I was going to get him. And I mean, had it been 20 feet lower, I probably would have got him out at the plate. But instead, it went over the backstop and hit a lovely young woman in the leg watching another baseball game.
It's a subtle flex, though. The fact that you could throw a ball that far, right? That's the point of the story.
I had a hose. I just didn't know where it was going. So yeah.
Oh, I love it. A hose without a scope. But Coach yes, Heffner, thanks so much for joining the show today, giving us perspective. Like I said, on behalf of all of us, congratulations, and we're so happy to have you staying in Waco.
Thank you, Drake. It's an honor to be here, and I'm grateful to be back.
Absolutely. Again, that's Coach Jeremy Heffner assistant women's basketball coach at Baylor University, director of athletics performance, and he is staying in Waco. Coach Nikki Collin, the first major recruiting get, is keeping Heffner on board. He's been a part of the staff for a decade, had a small stint where he took a break there in the middle of it, but came back with Kim Mulkey and company. Said he wishes her nothing but the best. He's grateful for the opportunities that Coach Mulkey gave him, and he is excited to be alongside Coach Nikki Collin, who has extended the opportunity for him and his family to stay in Waco, and he has accepted it, and he said it, let's go. That he's excited. I'm excited. The first major recruiting get for Nikki Collin is Coach Heff. That's Jeremy Heffner, staying here in Waco with the Lady